Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the LAN Party Podcast.
You're live. I didn't hear anything in here.
Okay. Today is Tuesday, as per the usual. We're a little late. 4:42.
We need to just change it to 4:30-ish.
Yeah, 4:30-ish.
That's what the podcast official time needs to be. We're going to be here at 4:30-ish.
4:30
Maybe.
plus
4:30
20 minutes.
Maybe.
With a little tilde in front of it. Little tilde key.
I don't know why we haven't done that yet.
Hey, somebody's already here. What the fuck?
Hello, Black Rose. Welcome to the podcast.
She was ready.
We're,
But yeah, it's going to be 4:30 plus or minus 10 minutes, more than likely plus.
So, boy, there's a lot that's happened in the past week. So first off, it did actually drop last week, and we didn't talk about it at all. The anniversary update for Sea of Thieves.
Super fun.
Super fun.
Did we not talk about it?
No,
We kind of touched on it, but we didn't actually talk about it. So we'll go ahead. I want to talk about that.
I need to do more of the adventure mode.
I do too. I need to do some more of the Tall Tales. Well, actually, this
I've
is
just done the one. Was that?
that cable is going bad.
Is it? Is it
Yes.
still making noise? Hold on. Yeah, mute me real quick. Is that me?
Yeah, that's you.
All right, give it a shot.
That sounds better.
Is it fixed?
For
No
now.
more ear rape. I'll try not
For
to
now.
bump the cord.
Put some dielectric grease in there.
Yeah. So we'll just go ahead and jump right into it. So
I think it's just not seating properly. So.
because Nate also wants to talk about it, so
That'll help.
he has a little story he wants to share for Sea of Thieves story time. So
Yeah, but I've only done one of the Tall Tales. I need to do the rest of them because they seem so fun.
they were. You did the first one with us, right? The Shroud
Yeah.
Breaker. We did the second one, and it was so cool. They put so much time into the animations were super cool, and the dialogue, the people talking, was super neat.
Yeah, I really like the puzzles.
And we fought a skeleton lord,
Nice.
and the skeleton lord was hard as shit.
Nice.
But with the anniversary update comes the Tall Tales, which are the new story-driven missions in Sea of Thieves. So you go to these certain places and you solve a bunch of riddles, and it's more than just go to the palm tree on the south beach next to the skull, walk 3 paces southeast and dig. It's it's
Straight up stories.
thought-provoking too.
There's stories involved with them and all this other stuff. And then
And the
there's
puzzle vaults were
puzzles.
super cool.
Yeah, like the first one. I like how we were just trying to figure it out, and then all of a sudden we're just wait a minute, this is filling up with water.
Yeah. It started filling up with water. We're like, oh crap, we need to go quicker. It's
funny.
not. It's terrifying.
No, that sounds great.
Yeah, we were just kind of bumbling through it, and it's just you think it's this one? Oh, let's try that. Okay, that didn't seem to work, and then we were just looking at the book, we're talking to each other,
And then
all
somebody
of a sudden
started walking. You hear water.
Yeah,
You're
and then we just start hearing running water, and it's what the hell? And we look around, we look up, and it's oh, there's water on the floor, and we look up, and we notice it's pouring in from stuff on the walls, and we're oh crap.
Uh-oh.
Wait, did the door seal behind you?
Yep.
Yeah. So we were stuck in this room. We thought, okay, we're stuck in here until we figure it out. Okay, that's fine. Then all of a sudden, we're oh no.
Yeah, fortunately that one was easy to solve. Apparently there's some that are really difficult. I've seen videos of people not being able to solve it. I'm sure if you watch anything YouTube Sea of Thieves related, Captain Falcor will pop up here and there, and his videos are great. He's got really in-depth videos and analysis, but he showed a clip from one of his streams where he was on a solo sloop trying to solve that puzzle vault. And he's it gets to the point where the water's up to his chin and he's screaming in terror. He's no, that's not the one!
Oh man.
So
It's so good.
they're very, very
It's a
good.
lot of fun too.
The Tall Tales are fantastic. It's really fun, and it doesn't
And it
pay.
gives you boxes.
Yeah, it doesn't pay really great, but in all honesty, I wasn't playing them. Obviously, because we're all Pirate Legends by now, so we weren't really playing it for any sort of money. It gives you $3,000 at the end of the Tall Tale, but you're talking it takes you about an hour to do one.
And a hat.
You do get unique cosmetics, I will say that. But super, super fun. If you're just looking to do something a little more laid back and not focused on your typical A to B sail from here to there and dig up a chest and then sail back and sell it or blah, 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 blah. Tall Tales are a fantastic way to break the monotony of Sea of Thieves up a little bit. And as well as that, and this will kind of segue into what Nate wants to talk about, the Hunter's Call, i.e. the thing everybody has been asking for since Alpha, fishing. Fishing is so good.
It's the best part of the update.
They did
Like, what
very
was it?
well.
Like, me and you sat around for like 2 hours fucking fishing.
Oh yeah,
One day.
it's so, it fits the Sea of Thieves universe so well. Like
we sailed up to an active fort, hopped on a rowboat, rowed up to the fort, and then fished at the fort for 2 hours.
and then lost all those fish because you black screened.
That was.
Good job.
Nate's still a little bitter about that.
I am too, man. We spent so
You-
long fishing. We
you
had like
left-
20-something fish.
You left, and me and Nate and John were in here, and Nate's like, well, I would have been way further along in my rep, except Tyler lost all the fucking fish.
I'm sorry, man.
I know it wasn't your fault, but I was pissed.
I was pretty mad too.
But the
Because I had to get off right after that too, so I was just like, what the fuck?
the fishing is phenomenal. Obviously, with Hunter's Call, it's not just fishing; it's everything involving the hunting and fishing spectrum. So now there's actually a purpose to killing the Megalodon and the Kraken, even though they don't sell for all that great.
But the
food bonuses are pretty good.
Yeah, they're pretty much like they're like two chomp bites, and they pretty much heal you all the way.
Not only that, but now there's the health debuff or the health buff.
Yeah,
so
and
that
once you
way
fill out of the way, if you take damage, then and you wait a little,
it'll
while,
regenerate your health.
your health will regenerate. It's pretty cool. Super nifty.
So
cook food. It's important.
yeah, cook food. It sells for more money when you sell it, and just to kind of carry on the fishing conversation. So as far as I'm concerned, and I think fishing in Pirates of the Caribbean Online was pretty good too. I really enjoyed fishing in that game, but I would go as far to say that this game's probably got the best fishing mechanics in any non-fishing focused game.
The best part is you can do it anywhere.
Anywhere, right? You don't have to go to one point on a dock, throw a rod, and you can
literally just go somewhere and then fish.
Exactly.
If you feel like it, you could just like anchor in the middle of the ocean.
Yep.
And throw out a reel.
I absolutely love how you can catch different fish depending on where you are in the world.
Depending on where you're at in the world and depending on the environment around you.
The bait too.
I have found, I believe, some of the fish that I've been struggling to find, like there's the battle gill, it was called the rum battle gill, I think is what it's called.
I think I know which one you're talking about.
I couldn't find it. And we went to a fort next to Rum Runner Isle, and I caught a bunch of them. I don't know if that was just a coincidence, but I feel like depending on where you're at the world, you have higher chances.
Well, I know
of
that
catching.
I'm pretty sure the stormfish are that way because
you can catch ancient stormfish in the ancient isles and then other stuff.
Yeah, so I think that's really awesome how they did that.
The fishing system itself in its entirety is very clever. I think, and I was talking about this yesterday when I was playing with everybody last night. This is the biggest update to date because it's essentially 3 updates tied up in one.
Yeah, in one.
But
has a massive story.
Rare has set the story or set the bar exceptionally high, not only for other developers at this point, but themselves. And that's not a bad thing. I mean, the level of it's a whole new game. Like, I think, was it you, me, and John that were playing the other night, or it was me, John, and Ray and Ink? This must have been last night, maybe. I don't remember. I just know I was talking to John about it, and he's like, we were talking about it. When this game came out, there were 2 ships.
Yeah.
There were 2 ships.
2 ships, and then only the voyages.
Only voyages. You had X marks the spots, riddles, merchant contracts, and
merchant contracts
bounties.
Merchant contracts is in
animals. Yeah,
Didn't
nothing
even have
else.
cargo runs.
No cargo runs. No sapphire gemstones. Banana crates. Like it used to be.
And then Fort Loot was also.
Fort Loot didn't used to be as good as it was, and forts didn't used to happen as often as they did.
Yeah, there was only a chest and a skull, right? There wasn't the ancient bone dust.
No stronghold kegs.
Yeah, you had chest, skull, and then like
An assortment of
Stuff.
loot.
piddly shit that half the time was like some people would just be like, "Fuck this shit, I want the main stuff,"
Yeah,
and then leave because there's
And
no.
then now forts are just a fucking
they're a money.
cash hole.
Yeah.
Like,
But I mean, you
So much
like
money in
it's
those.
so crazy to think how far this game came out. Granted, this is titled the anniversary update, but it came out like a year and some change after the game did. But
Mhm.
look at how far and how much the game has evolved in 1 year.
Yeah, now there's cargo runs along with all the other merchant stuff.
There's fishing. There's the vault. There's the Devil's Roar. There's roaming around the world. Undead skeleton crews. There's
There's more. There's even more forts that are active.
they're active more often.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's more types of loot. It's a fantastic evolution. Like, as far as I'm concerned,
a whole hell of a lot of fun too.
I'm sure this is a pretty bold statement, and if anybody's got a game that they would rather argue this situation on, please be my guest, because I could be wrong. But as far as I'm concerned, in 1 year of being out, of being released, I think Sea of Thieves has had the most drastic change, the most drastic positive change. Like, I think from day one to a year after release, version 2 patch, I think that Sea of Thieves has had the most dramatic change in a year, as
Yeah.
far as I'm aware, across the gaming industry. Like, I feel like they have done something incredibly unique in that regard.
I mean, wasn't really like content and stuff like that, but Battlefield 4 went from unplayable to one of the best FPSs on the market. Even
Hey,
though I
Sea of
still don't
Thieves.
like
Sea
it.
of Thieves was playable.
Yeah, Sea of Thieves went from playable to, and the other thing
a
is,
great experience.
yeah, I mean, you're talking. This
Now
game was
all they need to do to make this game one of the best games ever made
add the banjo.
is add the banjo.
Yep.
And the fiddle. Don't forget the fiddle.
Yeah, the fiddle would be great, but they're like,
I mean, there's
They're
banjo
literally-
music whenever you're
yeah,
fishing.
they're literally dangling the banjo in front of everybody and not giving it to us.
Or playing it when you're sailing. You hear
Yeah.
goddamn banjo music. It's like,
Well, that's what it is. It's like when you're fishing, the banjo is the primary focus of the music that plays while you're fishing. You just hear boom, 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 and
Yeah,
you're
you
just like,
hear banjo music while you have your reel in the water, and you're just like, what the fuck? Where's this goddamn instrument?
and I want to slap whatever sadistic fucking rare decided to do
yeah,
that.
yeah. He's like, just tease him a little while longer, and then we'll give it to him. Be like, but they want it now. I know, but let's see how angry we can make them.
They should know better.
But I mean, it's like the challenge that Rare had to face with this game is incredible because first off, Sea of Thieves is unlike any other game out there. Like, there is no other game that existed before it or even really after it that's anything quite like it. That's
The closest is Pirates of the Caribbean Online.
right. And still that game,
Other than that, I can't think of a
Yeah.
single other thing.
and that game, even in its own right, a fantastic MMO with very heavy air quotes. It's still limited in what you can do in the world. Like, you've got paths that you have to take. You are guided. You're not forced to, but you're guided to take a certain direction. You should go here and do this. You should go sink these types of ships. You should do this. You can choose to ignore that entirely. I did see chat. I'll read that in a second. I think that's what you were about to tell me. But you still have the world, and there's load screens between every island. You land on an island, you go through a load screen. You get back on your ship, you go through a load screen. You go into a building, you go through a load screen.
And then Sea of Thieves, it's just
It's
a whole open world.
Yeah, load
The
screen.
the only load screen you go through is going to the Pirate Legend hideout
and the Ferry of the Damned.
and the ferry.
It's the only two places.
That's it. And also, it's competitive in ways if you want it to be. It's also cooperative if you want it to be.
Exactly. It's
And
such a
then
unique.
on the stuff you can do while you're on a crew and all the work you do while you're on a crew as a team is also extremely rewarding.
Exactly. Like, it's always the best crew wins, not the crew that spent the most money.
And I mean, even if you're not doing anything competitive. If you really work well as a team on your boat, as a crew, then you just have a good time anyways.
Exactly.
Whether that be running a clean ship, doing fucking cargo runs or something.
And
you could still have a great time.
Before we continue that, I want to touch on what Black Rose said. She said it would be fun if you could play an instrument and pick notes to be able to play actual songs, but it might create a copyright issue. I don't think it's as much a copyright issue as it is like
coding issue,
because obviously the majority of us in this room play on keyboard mouse configuration, but most people are playing on an Xbox controller, and there's a lot of notes and not a lot of buttons.
I mean, they could give us a pentatonic scale. That would be plenty. We could play almost every rock song with that.
I kind of want them to make it to where you can select what song you want to play.
That would be nice. Like you've got a songbook or something. You can just open the songbook, be like, I want to play Be Calm.
Well, like, you know how when you're on the cannon and you hit a button, it opens up the wheel where you can select what kind of cannonball?
Yeah, do the same thing.
But
yeah.
It's like, it looks like a bunch of notes.
Yeah, or like a bunch of pieces of sheet music.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Sheet music, yeah.
That would be ideal. That's a good idea. Somebody needs to
take this.
Okay. You need to phone up Rare. Be like, "Hey guys."
I mean, I don't think that'd be too difficult.
No, I mean cuz they do it with the cursed cannonballs and with the fishing bait now. So it's clear that we can do it. I mean, we can do it on a cannon, and we can now do it with an item in our hand. We can just be like, okay, I want to pick a type of bait. So yeah, I don't see why it would be any more difficult to do that with
That way
shanties.
You don't have to sit there and start playing music like, no, that's the right song. No, that's
that's
not
not it.
Song.
Nope. No, that's not it, but that's a good one. Nope. Oh, that was it. Dang it.
Yeah.
Nope.
You gotta go through it again.
Nope.
Yeah, have it set up to where it's like you pull out the instrument, and then while you have it out, one of your wheels would change over to which song. You'd hit that, and that'd be the first song you play. But the moment you stop, you start playing another one.
Yeah, it'd be. There's definitely strides they could make in that. That would be awesome. I'd also like to see more shanties added. Like, it's in the game. I would love to see Drunken Sailor added. Like, it's in the game.
I just kind of like if they added that wheel thing, make it to where when you start playing a song and you have to stop for some reason, like to adjust the sails, you can go back you can resume from where you left off. I'd kind of like to do that.
Yeah, it would have to be intuitive though, because like in reality, when you stop playing an instrument, Nick can probably attest to this. It's really hard to pick up in like the middle of a phrase. It would have to start at the beginning of a phrase, so maybe not necessarily the beginning of the piece, but like the song's broken up into phrases, and if you stop in the middle of a phrase, it'll start you back at the beginning of that phrase. It'd be interesting. But no, like I just Sea of Thieves has such a unique, and like I don't think anybody can really copy it because it's so Sea of Thieves. Like you know, it's identifying. You can call it whatever you want. You can call it a large open world sandbox. You can call it an open world multiplayer pirate game. But like the best way I think you can describe it is it's Sea of Thieves. Like they have created that genre of play. There's no other game on the market like it. And with that comes challenges like rolling out something like fishing and making it feel like Sea of Thieves. It has to fit that universe. You can't just force it on people and it feel weird. And I don't think they could have done anything differently with fishing that would have made it feel any less Sea of Thieves. I feel like it fits 100% in the universe, like to a T. That could not be any more Sea of Thieves. And the thing I liked about it is I was watching a video review on the anniversary patch, and somebody said, the islands have always been beautiful, always look gorgeous. The visuals on the islands are like the islands are always fantastic. They're like, they always felt stale because there was nothing to do on them. You show up to an island, you dig up a chest, you kill a few skeletons, you leave. Now, with hunting and fishing, you show up to an island, you're like, oh, I could use some pork chops, so I'm going to go hunt down a few pigs. Or I could really use some pondies, so I'm going to go throw my rod and see if I can catch some fish on the ponds. Like, it gave the islands a breath of life.
Not only that, the the new story missions that they added,
Yeah.
or whatever, that gives life to the islands too. Like there's a story to the island now. There's more to it. There's history.
And it expanded upon the island. Yeah, they're like it adds. This whole update has, not that Sea of Thieves didn't have life in it before, but it breathed a whole new life into the game. Like, it's fantastic top to bottom. And before we jump the subject to the next big, so you were talking about some fiasco fishing with Monkey the other night in Sea of Thieves, and I'm intrigued to hear what happened. Because I saw you guys fishing for a while, I just didn't know what you all did.
So yeah, me and Monkey were playing. I was out to catch those battle gill, and like I said,
That naturally warrant,
you have to be at a fort or near a skeleton ship to catch them.
Yep.
Well, there was an active fort, and so we made our way over there to go catch some battle gill, and we stopped the ship away from the fort, and Monkey rode out there, and I went to go get more bait. And when I left, a sloop pulled up. Well, I say pulled up, it rammed the island.
As most crews do in Sea of
so
Thieves.
They come up and they rammed the island, and I start
there's
hurrying.
a free parking brake right there.
I hurry back, and I come over there, and we find out these guys are brand new to the game. Just started that day. They haven't a damn clue what they're doing. So we're sitting there like, hey, man, you guys do the fort. We couldn't care less.
We're just here for some fish.
We're just here fishing. And Monkey's like, yeah, that's all we do. We just fish. And the guy's like, okay, cool, man. Cool. And they're sitting over there doing the fort. We were minding our own business over here fishing. And Monkey, he's like, these guys have no idea what they're doing. It would be really easy to take this fort loot. And I was like, you're right. It would be. It would be. And so these guys are sitting here working this fort while we're just fishing. What we came there to do. And they kept coming and asking us questions and stuff. And Monkey was he was not letting up. He's like, all we do is fish, man. That's all we do. And the guy was asking us questions about the fort.
It's like, I don't know.
He was asking us questions about the fort. Monkey's like, man, we literally just fish. Like, that's all we do in this game. I didn't even know you could do that. Like, this is a fishing game, don't you? Like, that's not how you're supposed to play the game. You're just supposed to fish.
Quick, what were they wearing?
Just like the
sailor clothes, probably.
Clothing. Yeah.
Oh,
like I said, they started that day. And so anyway, they're doing this fort, and they're like, man, how many what were we supposed to do? Did we just keep killing them? And Monkey's like, we just fish, man. So they were about to give up on the fort and just leave because they didn't know what they were doing, and they weren't getting to the captain wave. And Monkey was like, well, you want me to come over there and help you? I mean, we just fish, and you guys aren't playing it right, but I guess I can try playing it your way, see what all this is about. So Monkey goes over to help them with the fort, and the captain wave spawns, and Monkey's like, oh my god, what is this? Why does this skeleton have a name above his head? And he starts freaking out, and the guy's like, oh my god, that's the captain. We gotta kill him to get the key. And Monkey's like, okay. So they're fighting the captain. And right when the captain dies, the guy from the sloop crew died as well. So Monkey was the only one there. Monkey grabbed the key
and hit it
on our sloop.
On their sloop?
On our sloop. He hit it on our sloop. And he came back and we were just sitting there fishing. The guy's like, hey, did you kill the captain? And Monkey's like, yeah, I did. And he's like, where's the key? And Monkey's like, what are you talking about? And the guy's like, you're supposed to get a key when you kill the captain. And Monkey's like, oh, I didn't get a key. The guy's like, you didn't? So the sloop crew, they're going all across the island. Monkey's leading them around. He's like, Monkey's like, well, this is where we killed him. And they're sitting there staring, looking at the spot where they killed the captain, and they're like, I don't see anything. Monkey's like, I don't know what it even looks like. And so they're starting to get upset. They're like, well, where the hell's the key? And Monkey, he starts going through his inventory, and he pulls out his compass. It's like all decorated and shit.
Yeah.
Remember, they're new. So he pulls out this real shiny thing, and they're like, oh, that might be it. And Monkey goes to the door. It doesn't work, of course. And meanwhile, I'm just over there fishing, losing my shit. And Monkey is. We were there for like 30 minutes like this.
I can't believe they didn't fucking figure it out.
And anyway, so Monkey was like, "Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. Like I said, we just fished, so I don't know anything about this." And he's like, "We're gonna go sell our fish, man." So
We just fish.
And so yeah, and then he came back to the sloop, and we took off, and the sloop stayed there, of course, looking for the key, and went to the seaport, and we sold, and we had the key on our sloop still. And I had picked it up and moved it and hid it in the sloop rib so you can't see it. And we left, and we were gonna head back to the fort because they just left as well. And as we were heading back to the fort, they turned around and came back.
They were suspicious.
And so we were like, okay, let's not go to the fort. And we pulled off and we parked somewhere else. And they followed us and parked there. And they were like, so we think you guys trolled us. And Monkey's like, no,
man.
what do you mean? He's like, we think you guys have been playing this a lot longer than you actually have.
What? No.
And he's like, I think you guys are you guys streamers? Like, did you just troll us? And Monkey's like,
so
no, man,
sad that
we
none
literally
of-
just fish. It's like,
Were
all we
you
do.
guys actually streaming? Please tell
No,
me
we
you were.
weren't. No.
Damn it.
And the guy was like, we think you stole the key from us.
I
And
need
they were
the
getting
footage for
they were
this.
real salty and upset with us. And he's like, what does Legend of the Deep mean? That sounds like something important. Like, oh, by the way, we were both wearing the Pirate Legend eye patch. That was the only thing that gave us away. And we both had the Legend of the Deep as well.
It just means we caught big fish.
Which Legend of the Deep, for anybody who doesn't know, means you've caught 100 fish as a pirate legend.
Oh,
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I didn't know it either, really. And the guy was like, that sounds like a really high title or a high-level title. And I was like, no, it just means I've caught 100 fish. Like I said, all we do is fish. And they were getting a little aggressive. One of the guys shot me and was about to kill me, and the other guy talked him down. And Monkey was like, man, you can look around our ship, man. It's not on our ship. And so they got in our ship, and they looked all around, and was like, man, you trolled us. You had to have trolled us. And Monkey's like, it's not here. We don't know what you're even talking about. And they just kept walking right past the key hidden in the rib.
Oh my god.
So, yeah. And then we went and grabbed the fort loot and turned it in.
Wow. Wow.
Piracy at its absolute finest.
Yep. Now, something did happen. I don't remember what exactly. We actually got into an alliance with them at that while we were having a little scuffle. Monkey's like, hey, we'll join an alliance. Because I told Monkey, I was like, we need to get an alliance. So that way when we sell the loot,
They see it all
see
sell.
that we had it. But then they did something that made us salty. And we left the alliance and sold it. I think we sunk them, but I don't remember how. Yeah, we got all the fort loot. wasn't hard work. We
It
got all of our
sucks that you
fish.
didn't actually
I'm just
stay in the alliance.
I'm just trying to imagine like how, cause like you all know Monkey's tone. I'm just trying to. It's like, so what do we do? It's like, I don't know, man. All we do is fish.
Yeah, that was the best
I don't
part.
know.
He was just like, man, all we do, man, we just fish. That's all we do.
Yeah,
I don't know,
can-
man.
Every
I
time
can
he
help
said
you. I can help you play the game your way, but you're playing it wrong.
it was great. Those guys were. Oh, one of the guys kept calling us the locals as well.
The locals.
Yeah, like their sloop sank at the fort, and the guy was there with us. He's like, "Yeah, man, I'm just sitting here talking with the locals."
We think you trolled us. What? No.
Oh my god, dude!
Troll you? Never.
We literally talked our way into that fort loot. Like that was great.
All we do is fish, man.
I was-
I don't know what you're. All we do is fish.
Oh, you got fort loot with 2 fishing poles and some bait.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that as we had the key that we stole from them, and while it was on our ship when we were still sitting there fishing, they were still bringing us bait. They kept bringing us bait. Like, here you go some more bait, guys. And we're like, oh, thank you.
That's so good. That's so good.
Oh, yeah, that was great. We were absolute dickheads to that crew.
I mean, no, dickheads
it-
would be acting that way and then killing them and taking the key and stealing the loot. You didn't lead them on at
Technically,
all.
we did kill them because we had to. Because
Well, that's different.
I don't remember.
That's
But
different.
I mean,
Drawn up a
before getting the key and everything, like before you fucking had to kill them, getting the key that way. Well, man, you're supposed to drop a key. What are you talking about?
Did monkeys?
Did-
The way he was.
I don't know, man.
His psychological warfare skills were great.
I don't know, man. All we do is fish.
Those guys are
I'm
like.
so glad that you have the ability to like push to talk. Otherwise, your dying rolling of laughter probably would have given it
Yeah,
away.
they also had open mic, so we could hear them talking to themselves, and they're like, "Man, I
Oh
think
my
I think they
God.
have the key. Like, there's no way. Like, it was great.
There's no... Be like, nah, I don't know, man. What does it even look like? Like, is it like a key? Like, I haven't found any keys in this game at all. Like,
Was your sloop decorated at all?
No. Wait, no, yeah. It was. It had the whaling barnacle or whatever, and the guy was like, "Where'd you get the shipskin stuff?" He's like, "Oh, it's just, it's look, it looks like a fish. It's just fishing skin or whatever." And the guy, they bought that.
so dumb.
It was great.
Oh my God, that's beautiful. That's fantastic. I don't think there's gonna be any. I don't think there's gonna be many stories that can top that one.
Yeah, if Monkey was on any longer, they went to the next fort. I told Monkey that I was like, "Hey, we can go help him out with that next fort." Because the guys, they were like, "Man, the guy that shot me, his crewmate who was talking him down. He's like, man, just leave him alone. Like, it's not worth it. It's not worth it." And so he was like, "Let's just go to the other fort. There's another skull fort. Let's go to that one." And
Be
he's
like, oh,
"Okay."
there's good fish over there. Can we tag along?
So we could have went with them and just did the same thing again. Oh,
Then you could have been like, I think the server might be about to go down. It's just happened before. Like, I've seen reports of the keys not dropping. And a lot of people say it's because the server's about to go down. You know, they've been having server problems lately. You know, and you never know.
I thought it was funny too. Monkey was like, "So what are you guys doing?" Like, "Oh, we're skull hunters." And Monkey's like, "What the heck is that?" He's like, "Oh, you see that skull up there in the northwest, up in the sky?" Monkey's like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "Yeah, we go hunt those down." Monkey's like, "Okay, cool. Yeah, we just fish." Skull hunters. I've never heard that before.
I've never heard that either. It's like they're trying to. Fort hunters sounds better. Skull hunters implies that you're chasing skulls.
Yeah, I thought that's what they meant. It's like they just went and got skull.
Or
Like,
yeah, you're doing Order of Souls.
yeah, that's what I thought. And they're like, "No, they're talking about the fort." Okay.
So, after that fantastically hysterical story,
We gotta we can sticking on that story for just a second longer. We gotta do that anytime anybody we think is new. If they roll up on us, everybody just throw their
no, you know what we need to do?
like cast their pole into the water and just be like, "No, man, we just fish."
We need to do that, except if we ever set up a fishing boat, like 100% fishing boat, and we do something like that, we all need to wear like sailor clothes or like new people clothes and not indicate that we're new to the game. And just be like, "No, man, we just fish. That's all we do."
Just have like regular titles.
Yeah.
That was the other cool thing is, like, me and Monkey's outfits, they really weren't, like, really top tier clothing and stuff, except for the eye patch. That
Yeah.
was it. Just the eye patch.
The other huge part of this update, and anybody that's been watching the streams will obviously know what I'm about to talk about. Arena. So, the PvP game mode that I was worried about when it was announced is actually very, very, very well done.
Super competitive.
It's super strategic too. Like,
Yeah.
it's not just a matter of, okay, let's go here, dig chests and sell them. You can easily put yourself high up on the leaderboard just by playing the defense.
Yeah, I mean, like, well, whenever we played it, we dug up 2 chests. That's it.
Yeah.
And had the rest of the crews do all the work for us. And we were comfortably in the lead the whole time because we sank at least 2 ships before we did anything, and we poked a lot of holes in a lot of boats.
We also, commandeered a ship.
Yeah, that was fucking funny. That was funny as fuck. I fucking died, and I'm sitting there getting the ship ready to sail because our ship sank, and I'm getting the ship ready to sail back to them so I can pick them up. And all of a sudden we start getting more and more points. I'm like, what the hell is going on? It's just like, yeah, we took over the red boat.
That's a great story for tail of the bitter wind, I think.
Yeah.
Although it wasn't the bitter
It
wind.
wasn't officially the bitter wind. But, I mean, it's serious. So what had happened is I go into these matches expecting, like, I'm not going to get heartbroken if I sink an arena. Like, it's going to suck because you lose 1,000 points if you sink. But you got to expect it to happen. The best crew can still sink. I mean, it's just the nature of the game.
You could get teamed up on,
Yeah.
which is not fun.
But we had sank because we got teamed up on. We sailed up to an island, and there was 2 ships there, and we did not necessarily plan the attack very well. I didn't realize we were as close to the island as we were until we were there, so we kind of had to turn last minute and get some wonky angles on shots. So
also,
we still
didn't appreciate 2 of you guys jumping off while the other ship was coming around broadside to us.
Yeah. So we could have played that situation a little bit better, but in the end, we still won, and it gave us a stellar moment because we ended up sinking, and there were 2 ships at the fort. One of them was digging, one of them was trying to steal the chests that were dug, and I think the ship that was there that was digging was yellow, and the red ship was the one that we stole, and that was trying to steal the chests. So they were all off boat, except one of them, and me, John, and Nate all survived the ship sinking, so we swam over to this red boat. And there's one dude on the deck. And we kill him, and he's just sitting there by the anchor, because when you die in arena, you don't go to the Ferry of the Damned. You sit there and you kind of collapse to your knees, and the camera will circle above you for a few seconds, and then you respawn immediately on the deck of the ship. You don't have to wait. You don't have to wait for the door to open and walk through the door. As soon as your timer's up, you respawn. And he's like, guys, they're getting up the anchor. And nobody came back to the boat. And
Like their original plan was just to crash it into the island.
But I got it on the perfect angle. Like I had originally planned on turning, because their sails were down, their anchor was down. And I originally planned on turning it into the island. And then that didn't work because it was too wide of an angle. And I'm like, maybe I can turn it into the ship. And then I'm like, wait a minute. And I opened up the turning angle. I'm like, guys, get on the cannons. And so the ship's circling the island, and we get to the other ship that was stopped there on a ship that's not ours and start shooting at it and getting points.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there like pulling up our anchor and setting the sail straight. Sitting there, click, 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 points, points, points. I'm like, what the fuck? What is happening?
And then the next thing you know, John's like, oh, one of them respawned, and he's like, all right, he's dead. And we kept shooting. We put ourselves more comfortably in the lead there, too, because we got cushion points from using somebody else's boat to attack another ship.
It was
Best
so funny.
part, though,
John,
while we are on the commandeered ship,
Oh,
shooting
yeah.
the ship that's winning, John goes over there
And throws their
and
chests
throws
over.
their chest overboard, and they don't know.
yeah,
my
he throws
God.
he throws 4 of their chests in the water, and then they turn around and sail away because they had 7 chests and they still had like what 3? Still had 3, so they jump on their boat, turn around and sail away because they still think they have 7. So they're just like, okay, if we get the fuck out of here, we can still win.
Yep.
And it's funny because the red boat, after they respawned,
Came after us.
Yeah, no, they thought
That's true. They thought they did have the chests.
They thought they still had 7 chests, so they chased him, and the blue boat chased the red boat. Whereas we came up, picked up the pieces, grabbed all 4 of the fucking chests, so everybody had sold them.
And it was funny because there was a pause, like there was a moment where like you saw yellow sold 3 chests, and then it stopped, and they weren't far away. The sell points are usually pretty close. And we're at one sell point, they're at the other, and they're getting swarmed. And finally, the other ships break off and go do whatever. I think we had gotten another map, so they were going to dig up more chests. And you see yellow, and they're off in the distance. They start turning because we're selling chests.
Yeah, there was a break, and then all of a sudden, it's like they're in the lead. They're like 1,000, 2,000 points ahead of us.
And then
all
we
of a
were
sudden
3,000 points ahead.
We sold 4 chests, and they're like, fucking son of a bitch.
They're probably scrambling around the boats like, where are those goddamn chests?
Yeah, it's like, all right, we sold the chest. And it's like, well, we only sold 3. It's like,
Like
yeah, we
the-
only had 3. It's like, no, we had 7. Where's the other 4?
It's like, no, we had 3, boss. No, we dug 7 up and brought 7 on the boat. Where did the other 4 chests go? And then you just see, it was like, we were like the purple ship, and you just see our banner come up, and it says, delivered a chest ×4. Who let that happen? Because that's the best part about it now. It stacks. If you sell a bunch of stuff in quick repetition, it stacks it, and it'll show you what you sold and then a times, and it'll show you how many you sold. So I guarantee you that's what they saw. They saw our crew sell, and it's like, they delivered a Sea Dog's chest times 4. And as soon as we finished selling, they sailed towards us.
How many were we missing again? 4. Damn.
It's so funny. John's just sitting there by himself on the boat, and he's like, "There's nobody here."
I found other chests.
He's like, "I'm gonna throw these off the boat." And as he throws 4 of them off, I think is when they spawned back. So he had to fight them off.
Yep.
And I think he died then,
He did.
and then everybody else died and then spawned on the boat. And then we came over there and picked up the remains
That was
and
a
won the
great
game.
play.
That was he got MVP that night for sure.
Yeah, for
It was
sure.
definitely.
If he hadn't thrown those off, we wouldn't have won.
And the new expanded ship damage is a game changer in Arena. It really is. Like,
Yeah.
you can stop ships from ramming you now. All you gotta do is shoot the anchor. If you hit the capstan enough and break it, the anchor will drop. And then they're dead in the water.
But what will the nooblets do?
Cry.
Die.
Cry a
Because
lot.
guess what? Once they're stopped pointing at you, you can keep hitting the
Yep.
front of the ship.
And you
Yeah,
can
and
make the
then-
hole bigger.
Yeah, you can get bigger holes.
Which John's not a big fan of that gameplay mechanic.
I'm not sure how that'll work. Like, do the holes stay big after you patch them? So if you
No, I think... Oh, you know what?
if you have like a really damaged ship and then it's all patched,
Maybe.
if you take more damage, does it take more water?
I don't know. You know, it would.
We're gonna have
you
to
would,
test that.
Yeah, we'll have to test that. You would think that would, by visualization of the damage, that would be how it functions
Yeah,
because
but
the
I don't
hole's
know if
big.
that's mechanically how it
But
works.
yeah, I bet it's the way it used to be, where like you don't take any damage and then you take a point of damage and it's your intro level hole punched in the hull. But it's 3 leaking speeds. It's like a little drip drain, and then it's your original leaking speed that you would take whenever you got hit, and then it's like a fucking fire hydrant opened up on your ship.
Yeah, and they also take different times to patch too. Like
Yep.
the little hole, you can just bang, 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 you're good, and then the average hole is the same time
Yeah.
it was, and then the huge one takes forever to fucking patch. So if you get like 2 or 3 of those holes, you have a problem.
Also, I don't think that repairing the masts, like the process behind that, is very widespread. Like, I don't think a lot of people know that not only do you have to haul the mast in, but then you have to patch it. Because what I've seen is a lot of people bring up a broken mast and then they'll unfurl the sail and it'll immediately fall back over. Like, you have to fix that. Like, it's not just fixed as soon as you bring it up. But the expanded ship damage is definitely a game changer. Like, it does make bad crews better because crews that didn't take care to aim in different spots can now shoot the same spot multiple times and be almost as effective. But it also made good crews great.
Yeah, because once you get a great broadside on somebody and you poke a lot of holes in their boat, you can just keep hitting them now and then just make the holes bigger and
Oh my god.
just
And so
destroys.
you know how we've always said that the best tactic for strafing a ship is to go around it. The harpoons changed the game. I was playing last night with Ink, John, and Ray, and that was an interesting crew. It took us a while to get our footing as a crew because you have 3 people there that are all PvP people. Everybody was trying to get off the boat, myself included, and so we weren't really focusing as much on boat as we should have been. So once we kind of got settled in and we got the crew, I actually quit sailing. I let Ink sail because in his head he knew what he wanted to do and he was on point most of it. He wanted to play defense. He didn't really want to go for chests. He wanted to intercept chests. So I let him do that. And at one point he was off boat distracting a ship that was attacking us. Like they were tagging behind us. And he got on board, dropped the anchor, killed all 4 of them like 3 times in a row. And there was a ship that we were coming at a broadside, and we shot it, and they were trying to turn broadside to us, and we hit it with a good round of cannonballs, and then we broke the anchor and the anchor dropped. And since they were on an angle, it turned and it lurched to the left when it hit. And we got close and we were just unloading into them. And Ray's like, hang on. She walks up to the front of the ship, shoots the harpoon, grabs the back of the captain's quarters, and it wraps us around the ship, and we just kept firing at it.
God.
Oh no.
That was devastating damage.
It was.
They probably sank like almost instantly. Didn't
They sank pretty quick after that
I didn't even think about that. You could just use the harpoon
to act
to
as a wrapping.
circle
Yep.
around and then attack the other side. There's almost no coming back from that.
No, when you
Yeah.
get hit
On
from
both
both sides,
sides.
you're done.
Yeah.
You can't. It's almost like me and Nate. That I still have that clip from when we went galleon hunting that one night on a sloop. You cannot recover on a galleon, and this was back on the old damage model. If you get hit all around the front and the side of your ship, like there's physically more holes in the ship than you can repair before they hit the mid deck.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, we've always said that's the ideal way to attack a ship because you can deal the most of a blow, and for half of that rotation, you're out of firing range. All you have to do is make sure they don't board you.
Yeah.
Which we've had a problem with lately too. So, but it was a fantastic move. And that it was the harpoons are definitely a game changer. Because Ray, it was funny when Ray first learned about them. Because she at first was like, it's harpoons, it's no big deal, it's nothing special. But then she realized that she didn't know this. Then she realized you could pick up chests with them. And then she realized you could pick up, like, supply barrels out of the water with them. Then she realized you could pick up people with them. Then she realized you could take loot from people with the harpoons.
Dude, it makes looting forts so much faster. It's like when we were looting that fort with Monkey, he was on the boat with the harpoon.
Pop!
I grab a chest, run down to the beach, he'd take it. I go grab another chest, run down to the beach, he'd take it. It's perfect.
Well, and it makes getting Sea Dog chests easy, too. Because Sea Dog chests take 3 digs to dig up, 1 to find it, and then 2 to pull it out. And then after that, you just drop it on the beach, and you get it, and you go. And then the last one, because you got somebody on the island recovering chests, the last one you just have them turn their back to the ship, they'll harpoon back to the boat, and they've got the chest in their hand. You get all your chests on the boat, lickety-split, and you're out of there. It's super cool. The harpoons are fantastic, and it makes tight maneuvers so much better. Like that,
Do you think they'll break run bottles?
Oh, that's clever. I don't know. That's interesting. I bet they damage rum bottles because they damage barrels, like explosive barrels.
Oh, yeah. Only one way to find out.
They, you know what I was reading too? I was reading some of the patch notes. I guess at some point or another, you were actually able to harpoon people out of the Kraken tentacles.
That'd be
Can
nice.
you not do that anymore?
Not anymore.
That would make sense.
Oh.
Though. That'd be cool.
Apparently, it was causing some pretty major malfunctions.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because what I would imagine is when you're in the Kraken tentacle, I would imagine you're part of the Kraken
Or like
for that moment.
and your movement is disabled as well.
Yeah.
So you get pulled back to the boat and you can look around, but you can't move.
Or the boat gets pulled to the Kraken tentacle.
Oh god.
Pop! Click, 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 click. The boat just starts coming out of the water.
Especially with the old way, how powerful the fucking harpoon reeling was.
Oh, yeah.
It'll
Before
pull you
we-
up out of the water onto the Kraken.
That'd be you'd be able to drag yourself halfway out of the Kraken.
Yeah, I mean, you would be able to.
I was
What
I
if the
tried-
Kraken through the boat though?
I
Just see a galleon off in the distance.
We're back to the old alpha days with the flying ships.
You got some crew over in this is like, hey, that shit got Krakened. Wait, what's that line? What in the hell?
Where'd he go? Could you imagine seeing if they had the Reaper's mark when they were in the Kraken too? It's just like, oh look, there's a ship with a Reaper's mark up. What the?
Well, that must have been a glitch. I guess they're loaded in weird, but they're still moving. Hold on, they're kind of close to us, and you get out and you look around. You look up and you see the boat.
The fuck?
No, it lands right next to him.
Hi.
Hey,
Are you guys hacking? And everybody on that boat is just like, Oh my god, I nearly shot my pants.
It's like, are you guys hacking? Everybody's just like, what just happened?
It's like, no, we got thrown by the Kraken.
It does that? Well,
Apparently,
sort of.
Not supposed to.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, I would advise against that. Are harpoons only part of the arena? No, they are available in adventure mode as well. You know what? I wonder if you can bring chickens on board. Like, I wonder if you can bring animals on board with the harpoon.
I think if you put them in crates, I don't know if you just shoot them randomly.
It probably just kills them.
It probably does.
I imagine.
I wonder if it kills them. I wonder if it brings back the chicken leg.
Yeah, he brings the crate back and there's some chicken legs sitting in there.
Or you just shoot the chicken.
Or you just shoot the chicken and it comes back with a drumstick stuck to the end of the harpoon.
Morbid.
Now, that's what I call delivery. What happens if you shoot skeletons with a harpoon?
I think it just damages them.
Okay, makes sense.
And brings them on your boat.
You wouldn't. Yeah, you wouldn't want a skeleton roaming your boat.
No.
You grab a skeleton captain and it pulls him on the boat.
Could you imagine bringing a skeleton captain from a fort on the boat and you just kill him while you just sail away with the skeleton captain and you kill him because there's people going to the fort? You just kill the captain and the key drops.
Or imagine if it's a sword captain and you just fucking train him around the boat as you're sailing around.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, what is that? Oh, that's Jim.
Ship defense.
Yeah, you have like 5 of them on the ship. It's like, why has that ship got a skeleton crew?
Somebody boards your ship and gets absolutely wrecked by 5 skeleton captains.
I'm just trying to imagine, though, if I'm a ship that's approaching another ship at the fort and the ship just sails off, I'm like, oh, cool, the fort's all ours. And then I get close and I hear the captain music. I'm like, great. And then it goes down. I'm like,
well, where's the key?
Be like, all right, there's somebody on the island. There has to be. And then I'm looking around like, there's no mermaid.
There's nothing here.
Where's the key?
Well, I don't know, man. We just fish.
I don't know. We just fish. That's all we do. All we do is fish. And on that tremendous note, I don't know if I talked about it on the podcast. I'm going to call out to work tomorrow. And by call out to work tomorrow, I mean I'm going to call out tonight for work tomorrow.
Hey, you're giving them fair warning.
Yeah. I mean, I got plenty of time to find somebody to cover my shift at 4 a.m., so, you know.
What is that? Gives them like 3 hours?
I mean, to be completely honest, it's just replenishment. Like, all I'm doing is replenishment. I'm not doing anything. I'm there from 4 to 10.
Is there actually a truck?
That was today.
Okay, so yeah, nah.
So I'm probably fucking them there too because they only had 3 people on the truck today. But whatever. I don't want to go tomorrow. Not at 4 a.m. I'm just gonna be like, my brother's sick. I have to stay home and watch him. My parents work. So I will probably be streaming tonight. It will probably be Sea of Thieves. So just check back here around 8 o'clock, 8:30 Eastern time. And if we're not live by then, just check back every few minutes. I'm sure we'll be live shortly after. So thanks, everybody, for hanging out with us. We're going to go cook some burgers and drink some beer and have a grand old time. So we will see you all later this evening.
Bye.